paralyzed and in a wheelchair for much of his life, the ceremony paid tribute to human endeavor, science and enlightenment. Some 4,200 athletes are taking part in the 11-day event. Israel's Supreme Court has ordered settlers to evacuate an unauthorized Jewish settler outpost in the occupied West Bank by September 4th. Migron was built on Palestinian land more than a decade ago without Israeli government authorization. The court rejected an appeal by 17 families who argued they had bought the land from Palestinians. Israel's extreme right has slammed the decision. 19 miners died in a coal mine explosion in China's southwestern province of Sichuan. Rescue efforts are continuing to save 28 other miners trapped underground. Around 150 people were working in the mine when the blast occurred on Wednesday afternoon. Accidents are common in China's mines, which are known for being among the world's most deadly. South Korea has formally rejected Tokyo's proposal that the International Court settle a bitter row over Korean-controlled islands in the Sea of Japan, a dispute that goes back 60 years. South Korea made it clear that it believes there's no territorial dispute as the islands belong to it. The islands lie equidistant from the two mainlands and are believed to contain frozen natural gas deposits potentially worth billions of dollars.
The news continues momentarily after this short break. And now over to sports. The Paralympic Games are underway in London. It's a packed day of competition with up to 28 gold medals up for grabs. And the opening ceremonies featured umbrellas and a light-hearted tribute to London's gloomy weather. The British physicist Stephen Cobson called on people to look to the stars for inspiration. More than 4,000 athletes are coming in front of a record 2.4 million spectators. Paralympics are especially poignant for one athlete. She lost her leg in a terrorist attack a day after London won its Olympic bid. Now she is competing in volleyball and is determined that nothing will hold her back. She then picks up the rest of that extraordinary story.
She's one athlete whose Olympic dream started as a nightmare.
Awarded to the city of London.
The day London won its Olympic bid, Martine Wright was able-bodied. She was on her way to work the next morning when disaster struck.
I was completely oblivious to what was going on, just had my head in my paper. But I know that we went into a tunnel, and then probably 10 seconds later, all I can describe it is I just had this white flash in front of my eyes.
Martine's carriage had been blown to pieces by the 7/7 suicide bombers. The blast tore through the train, killing 7 people and crushing both her legs.
I sort of glanced up, and it was about 6 foot up or something, and then saw all this mangled metal that was the end of the carriage, sort of going into my legs. And at the top of this mangled metal, I just saw one of my new trainers. And I just remember this trainer that was sitting on top of all this mangled metal, just with blood all over it.
In the years that followed, Martine says she embraced life as an amputee, throwing herself into every opportunity that came her way, even getting married.
How did it come about that you found sport?
I went to a Paralympic Potential Day, which was in the guise of called the Amputee Games. Tried fencing and basketball and tennis and archery and sitting volleyball. People think that we use a chair with sitting volleyball. We don't use any wheelchair. We use our bottoms. and we use the floor, and that's it, and we use our hands and legs. So that was quite liberating for me.
I hear that you wear the number 7 jersey and that you'll be wearing that during the Olympics. Am I right to think that that's symbolic to you?
I purposely chose the number 7 back when we were given our kit, and 7-7 will always be a dark day. If I can wear that on my chest, you know, near something as amazing as the Paralympics, you know, hopefully, again, that's a message. It might just be to me, it might not be to anyone else, but it's just a message.
A message that 7 years after the attack that changed her life, good can prevail over bad. Christina McFarlane, CNN, Loughborough.
Interesting. And before we go, a reminder of our headlines. Western diplomats and several Gambian ministers yesterday held talks on the recent execution. Close to 200 skilled young men and women have graduated from the National Youth Service Scheme. Palestinians living in Syria have joined the Free Syrian Army's efforts to end President Bashar al-Assad's regime, and reports of hundreds of deaths in the Democratic Republic of Congo's North Kivu region have prompted the United Nations to dispatch fact-finding teams to the area. That brings us to the end of the news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Stay tuned and enjoy GRTS.
سألته أن يطيف المريد من جوده ما أحجز الهديد من الهلام ومن الأرساخ فضلا ومن محاسن الأخلاق أسأله بالله ورحماني وبالمهيمن وبالمنان ما أقتجتنا وغيري في العمر فلا أروم منة للخير إني أبيد للقني الوالي أرجوه لي وكل من يوالي والعزيز خيره سليل وهو الكريم واهب الجميل أروم للأحباب كل يسر فلتكفهم يا ربي كل عسر لا درهم فار ولا يسلط عليهم الأعداء يا من يفسد رفعتهم فضلا بذكرك العظيم وأنيم ترا بفضلك الحميد أميتهم عن ذكر كل خير فاملأ قلوبهم بكل سر ملكهم الديار والأموال ونجهم وآتهم أنفالا أقم وجوههم لدينك القويم ومدفهم بفضلك الجحيم إنهم وسدهم بقدر صدق كل مريد وبقدر سوق إني أريد منك بل وتهلم إني أريد بعد بل وترهم لك ومنك ثم فيك كل ما طلبته وأنت تدي الحكمة رجوت أنني رجعت منك بكل ما سألت إليك فزل خواتم الأولى والأولى وآتنا ما فات الأولين يا من يجيب دعوة المضطر فلتكشفا ما مسنا من در مصليا على نبي المصطفى وآله مسلما مصرفا اللهم
صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبقنا صراط بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم على آله حق قدره
جعلتك يا خيران لنا مسافيرا وكل زمان قد أراك مجيرا
جعلتك يا خيران لنا مسافيرا وكل زمان قد أراك مجيرا
بكفيك ربح القلق طرا وقصرها وخيرك لم يلفى لديه نقيرا
جعلتك يا خيران لنا مسافيرا وكل زمان قد مجيرا
وأنت أبيب الله والملك ملكه أراك أمينا للإله وسيرا وبرهام هذا الحبد بالحق لائس فلم يك يا سامين سواك أميرا
جعلتك يا خيران لنا مسافيرا وكل زمان قد مجيرا
يسيرون سيرا في المجالس فيرسدهم نحو الإله بصيرا
جعلتك يا خير أنام سبيلا وكل زمان قال